Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. We are on episode 62. So it's been around for a while, but if you are just finding this now and you're new, Stamping A to Z is a series I began over a year ago. I go through a lot of different products that Stampin' Up! Has, and I show you how to use them in many different ways, maybe ways you wouldn't have thought of, but also just basic how to use this. So if you've got it in your stash and it's just sitting there and you don't use it because you don't know what to do with it, hopefully this will inspire you to pull those things out. They are all recorded. There's a whole 62 episodes on my Facebook page. I also have downloaded a lot of them to YouTube, so you can always catch them there as well. So hopefully you enjoy them. If you do enjoy it and you like to watch, please share with your friends. There's a little button, I don't know which corner, depending on what you're watching on, but usually it'll ask you if you want to share with your friends. I would love it if you could share and we can grow our little crafting community. Anyways, so today, like I said, is episode 62. We're going to be looking at the butterflies and flowers layering decorative masks. I've gone through decorative masks before and things you can do with them, but I thought these ones are new in our new mini catalog. They can be found on page 65. They're new in that they have layering pieces to them, so they're not just a mask. So I wanted to show you kind of how the layering stuff works, but I also discovered a really fun new way to use the masks I've been playing with. I'm not going to quite say yet what it is. First, I'm going to show you the layering part, and then you'll see what I have in store for you afterwards. Some of you crafters out there who aren't necessarily 100% Stampin' Up!, you're going to really love this. So, especially Yolande, I know I don't see you watching today. I was hoping you'd watch because this is for you. So I will turn you around and I've got a few things. We had a new early release from the new annual catalog that just got released yesterday. So I'll just show you the products in there that are now available. And we have a new paper pumpkin coming out next month, which is really cool. So I'll just show you guys those things and then we will start crafting. So let me turn you around here. Okay, whoopsie. My holder always gets moved around. We use it for playing marbles and cards, so it's not always ready to go. I'm hoping that my iPad today will cooperate and actually show me comments. It's doing something weird as usual. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see what's going on here. There we go. Okay. I hope comments will come up. I don't know. Weird screen. Anyways, so this is the new paper pumpkin that's coming out for February. Subscriptions need to be put in by February 10th. And then they get shipped. The last January one was delayed a bit because of all the delays with around the world. They haven't said anything about February's though, so I'm assuming it's all ready to go. This is a really fun one if you have younger kids or if you just love animals. It is an animal one. It's called Safari Celebration. It has enough stuff to create 9 cards and coordinating envelopes. And there's, it says it goes with a lot of the in colors of our current color collections, but from both color collections, both in color collections. So yeah, it sounds like fun. So if you're interested in a paper pumpkin, you can always ask how to sign up if you aren't already. This is the new collection that I was talking about that was released yesterday. Super, super cool. There's 10 new blends available. They come in packs of 2, but they aren't light and dark like our normal blends are. They're actually 10 different colors of neutral natural tones. So great for coloring skin stuff, but I mean, it's just great in general for anything and everything. So those are really cool. There's a really nice stamp set here together. Here for You dies. They're totally on trend right now. You Matter. Some nice black and white paper, and then, like I said, the blends. So that's been available since yesterday. Some of these are only while supplies last. So it says that the dies are only while supplies last, so it must just be the stamp set that's in the new annual catalog. I would have thought it would have been the paper. Anyways, some of it's only while supplies last, so get in on it if you love it. You can use host code. I do have a special right now. If you buy the collection and you're the first 5 to buy the collection and use the host code, I will send you a special gift from me. So keep that in mind if you're in Canada. I can't sell outside of Canada. So yeah, let's get started with this fun. So let me start by showing you the masks. They're a little bit messy because I've been playing with them. So here, oh, I didn't even wash that one. Here's the butterfly, which I should have, because I'm going to, let me just wipe this before I make a mess, because the first one I'm doing is not these colors. Apparently I wasn't thinking last night. They're much easier if you just rinse them under some water in the sink, but baby wipes work too. It just, when there's lots of ink on it, it takes a little more to get rid of. Anyways, okay, so I should take a piece of paper here so you can see these. Here's the butterflies. So you have a nice outline butterfly, and then you've got this, you can stencil in. You could use the flower. You could actually use anything with the butterfly. But that is just one that does layering. Then you've got this flower, and we're going to use this today, and I'll show you how they layer on top of each other. Not only do they layer, you can use also these flowers as well, and the greenery if you want to add some leaves. So those are the layering pieces. And then you've got your regular kind of background stencils. And these are the ones I'm going to show you a really cool new technique I have discovered. So stay tuned for that. But first, let's do the layering, which is really fun and cool as well. And it's so super fast to make just this amazing looking card without a lot of work. So first I'm going to take just a piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to take some fresh freesia and rich raspberry, and I can't forget this part. So I traced the butterfly onto a sticky note, and these sticky notes are they're the 3M sticky notes, but I can't remember what they're called. They basically have sticky on the whole note except for this little grayed out part, so it makes for great masking as well. And I'm just gonna put my butterfly like so, and that's my mask for the butterfly. So I'm not going to use my butterfly yet. I'm going to use, I hope there's no comments because there's nothing coming. At least it's not glitching today. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take the more open piece. So it's I think of it more like a background, just like with the butterfly. You want to do that one first with the lighter color. So let me just go over here like so. And then this is just some washi tape to help keep it in place. And then I'm going to to take my fresh freesia and I'm just going to maybe take off some of the darker purple I'm just using the same brush for both purples. And then you're just going to come and brush these are our blending brushes. Love them. Okay. And then I'm going to come down here as well. I'm going to do this part while I've got the fresh freesia out. I mean, those flowers look great on their own, but watch when you do the second layer. Just be careful when you're peeling off your washi tape. I pulled too fast. Oops, I remember it goes this way, I think, yes. So the bigger flower, you know, goes to the bigger flower. And then you'll see it's fairly easy to line up. If you get the big flower, you want to basically cover the white lines. Sorry if I get my head in here trying to line it up. Where's why am I having troubles with this? Do I not have it the right way? I had it like this, correct? Yes, so I should be able to line it up. Oh, there we go. We're close anyways. Getting there. Almost there. Okay, I made it look a lot harder than it actually is. Okay, there we go. So then I'm going to close my fresh freesia and I will open up the rich raspberry. Again, you can use the same brush. And you're just going to add the rich raspberry. Now you can go as dark or as light, or you can kind of have it varied in tones if you want. And if you're worried about kind of going over onto other flowers, you can always mask these again with just a post-it note or something, so that you don't. But watch this. Isn't that pretty? So pretty just for a few brush strokes, really. Just crazy to think. But okay, so then I want to line this up again. There we go. That one was easier for some reason. I must have just had it angled wrong. You do want there to be a contrast though between your fresh freesia and your rich raspberry. Okay. So there are our flowers. Then I'm going to take, I'll close this, I just stuck my finger in the, I hate it when I go to close it and I stick my finger in the ink pad. All right, so then I'm going to take these leaves and I'm going to add some leaves. Now, obviously the bigger flower goes with, but you can actually put things anywhere, just kind of wherever it fits, however it suits. So I'm going to take maybe these, this one. Take these leaves here, and we don't want to do that with the purple, so we'll take our green This is pear pizzazz that I'm using. And we'll have some. So again, I could cover this to make sure I don't add green to my flowers, but really it's not. So see if you kind of go darker to lighter, then, oh, I did get green on there. Well, yeah, it's so easy not to. Oh, well, c'est la vie. Okay. Let's add maybe another set of green leaves here. And look at that, I didn't even cover the whole flower. So we'll go like that. And I think somehow I smudged my, hang on. Okay, here's a tip. If you've got like a sanding block or something, very light, fine. If you get a smudge, you can kind of sand it off. And then I will redo the green so that we don't have purple leaves. Not that it's that big of a deal, but with having a white background, it's nice to have the, and then I'll just add one more leaf. I want a single leaf. And then if I want to put it kind of off of this flower here, I'll go like that. And, ah! Boy, I'm clumsy today. Okay. Fingers. There we go. Okay, so we've got our leaves. We've got our flowers. Now comes the fun part. Okay, so now we get to pull off this butterfly here. I love it when you take a mask off of something and you just have that nice, this tail so I don't tear it. There we go. Okay, so now I've kind of got my butterfly here. So then I'm going to come back with my butterfly and I'm going to line it up. I don't know if you can tell, it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. And I'm just going to tape this down a little more. Now my background, I'm going to make my butterfly blue. So I'm going to use Coastal Cabana, so my lighter of the blues. Take off the dark blue I was working with. Ooh, that's really dark. Okay, hopefully that doesn't, you know what, I'm just going to take another, oopsie, that one's, okay. Take a clean brush, and you can just wash off your brushes. So if you only have a few, you can totally just wash them off and then use them for the next. Again, you might want to cover some of this. Where did it go? I had cut a piece to work well here, but let's just do that. And I'll just cover this up here. There. That way I won't be getting Coastal Cabana where I don't want it. Now I'm being a little heavy-handed, which I didn't do on my other one. I find with these brushes you want to be kind of light-handed with it. So we'll see how this turns out. It's a little bit more streaky, I find, when you're heavy-handed. Just try and blend it out a little. Okay. Then we want to move that to the next piece. Oops. So now when you're, I just helps you to watch because I'm touching the stencil where I brushed it. I will probably get some ink on my fingers, so when I go to touch my white paper, I just want to be a little careful with that. So I'm just gonna stick that there to cover it up. And then, like I said, I'm gonna be a little careful where I'm touching things. And then it's fairly easy again. You just kind of want to leave a little bit of space around your butterfly wings where your dots are going. And then we will take Pacific Points and we'll just color it in. Easy peasy. Find they end up looking so I don't know, it just pops with that layering and it looks like you've done something super amazing. But really you're just putting on some ink, and it's all in your color choices how much it'll pop versus not, I guess. So I'm going to gently peel this off. Okay. And there we go. So you've got this beautiful inked, it's not stamped, it's not, nothing's cut, it's just super simple, just some ink and some stencils. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So here's my finished card, just white on white, and then I added you could add any sentiment, and I added these, I love these, I just ordered some more because as you can see I'm almost out of these, in color jewels. They're just so pretty. So that's the first card with layering. Now comes the new secret. But you know what? I'm gonna, this is cutting out for me. I'm just gonna move my camera. I'm gonna turn this off and then I will turn it back on again. So you might have to go out and come back in if you're already watching. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. This doesn't work on my black background, so I thought I would switch surfaces here so I can try and show this again. Okay, let me just find you again on my iPad. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so here's my surprise. This is a jelly plate. I've watched many people jelly plate. My friend Yolande does it all the time. She always amazes me at the things that she does. And I've had it forever, or I had a different one, and it was the wrong one. It did not work. She tried to teach me. I was so frustrated. So then I got the right one, but I hadn't played with it. I don't love, well, I don't have a lot of paints. The paints I have are old. I was torn about buying all sorts of new stuff. So, you know, I've got so much Stampin' Up stuff and I want to make it work with Stampin' Up. So I was like, I wonder if it'll work with our inks. Because I've seen people do it with like the distress inks and more the pigment inks and alcohol. But our quick drying stuff, I didn't know if it would work or not. So I was like, I'm going to try this. So I did, and you can do all sorts of fun stuff using the jelly plate. So if you're not sure how to use the masks, the traditional background masks, traditionally, you can go back in my episodes. There's at least one, if not 2 or 3 episodes of different ways to use masks. So this one is just, I'm going to show you with the jelly plate. So I just have the piece on, and I had always left the bottom on before, and it slid everywhere. So sticking it down to whatever surface was like, oh, this is awesome. And then when you add your stencil, it sticks to it, so it's not moving around. So it's actually a really great way to use your stencils if you have a jelly plate. If you don't, you might want one, but this is not a Stampin' Up product. Just the stencils are, and the inks that I'm going to use. So to begin, the first one I want to show you, I'll just show you basic, just with our inks without the stencils to start. So I'm going to take Mango Melody, Flirty Flamingo, and Melon Mambo. And so just a note, if you don't have a jelly plate and you're looking to get one, get a smaller one. This one is the 8x10, and it's too big for card making anyways. For other purposes, it's probably great. But for me, I would prefer a 5x7. They can be found on Amazon. I just ordered a new Mango Melody. I don't know what happened to mine, but it has got some gunky weirdness going on, but it still works. Then I'm going to add my Flirty Flamingo. And if you go light to dark, you can overlap them without any problem. If you go dark to light, you might want to leave space in between them. I think I'm just going to add, got too much mango here. Okay, so then you need a brayer. So this was actually from Stampin' Up years ago. And as you can see, because I was using, I meant to do the light one first. I used it with paint, and it just makes such a mess of everything. The paint is messy. So I like this ink because you can just rinse it off. Anyways, I'm probably going to really muddy this up now because I started with the, so I got to really work this Mango Melody because it's kind of got some funny stuff going on with it. And then you can just, you don't want to go back and forth too much with this because it is just the quick drying ink. It'll get really muddy. So you don't want to do that. So that's just the ink. Now, something you can do with the ink is you could take any kind of stamp. This is a big background stamp. And I'm just gonna put it on. It's clean, the stamp. So what the stamp is gonna do is gonna just pick up the ink. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but if I go and I put my piece of paper on here, and then I pull it up, you can see I have this nice print of, now this one is a bit grainy. I did talking and leaving it for, you want to be fairly quick with it if you want to have some nice prints, but we'll see. We'll leave this one again. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some color to this. I think maybe I'll just add some Melon Mambo. So I'm going to ink up my stamp. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of off camera, but I can't move my jelly plate. Okay, so then there's still some color. It'll be lighter, but you can pick up the ink several times, which is kind of cool. So now you can see my butterflies. And And then if I take another piece of paper again, and then pick it up, you can see you still have the background color, but then you've got your inked butterflies as well. Now, I mean, you could argue, why don't I just stamp after the fact? And you could do that as well. But this is just to show you that you can pick up the ink with stamps, so you can use it as texture, you can use it, people get so creative with this thing, it's unbelievable. So that's just kind of picking up ink. So I did the same thing with the palm trees from the Paradise Palms, and then I cut out with some dies and added a sentiment. So you can see you get kind of a cool card with just some fun. If you do a whole bunch of backgrounds, then you can make a whole pile of cards after that as well. So then if I want to switch things up and I'm going to use different colors, I can just take a baby wipe off my jelly plate here. Okay. And the other thing I want to do is wipe off my brayer. Now, if you wipe it with a baby wipe that's wet, it's going to just kind of start smudging because there is so much ink on here. So what I found was if you wipe it with a Kleenex first, and then you can, if you really are switching colors and you want to get most of the color off, you could just run it under the sink too. I do not have a sink right here with me, so we'll just use low tech and then just wipe it again. So it actually has a layer of paint on it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's okay. It works. And the other thing I learned, so I had gotten I was wearing white the other day, and I didn't get ink on it, but I got something on it, and I went to spot wash it with some soap, and the soap pulled the ink right off my hand. So all of a sudden I had handprints all over my white sweatshirt. Threw it in the wash right away and it came off. These inks are not permanent, I get, because they're water-based, so they do wash out quite nicely. Thank goodness. I was so sad. Yeah, anyways, if you really want to get stains off of your hands, because if I wash this with soap, they'll still have color on them, but I use the pink solution bar and it comes right off. So if you need clean hands because you're going out somewhere, now you know how to get clean hands. The things you learn when you're inventing new things. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show is how you can use the stencils with it in, again, several different ways. So I'm going to take, I've got Balmy Blue here. I'm going to start with that. And I'm just going to do, so you can't really see the blue. I wish I could put white underneath, but then it would be moving on a sheet. So anyways, because it's light, you probably can't see it. You might be able to see the little line there. I'm hoping that my pink isn't going to transfer. I've got a hair or something here. Okay, so then I'm just going to brayer it just to smooth it out, right? You don't want the lines from your stamp pad everywhere. And then I'm going to take my stencil and I'm going to put it down, and now you can just brayer it, right? And then you can pick it up. So you're basically like with the stamp, you're just lifting the color from, and then you should get the stencil marking. Let's see. So you've got a really faint stencil pulled up like that. Now if you want a more, and also this is a really light color, so you might want to do that in a darker color if you're just lifting the color. But I'm just gonna go back and put some more on since it's such a light color. And then we'll brayer it again. Okay, and then where did my stencil go? I should have noted which side I had put down. Oh well. Okay, so we're going to put that down again. And this time I'm going to take this Misty Moonlight, and instead of putting my ink directly on, I'm going to take my brayer and I'm going to ink it in my pad, and then I'm just going to, and you can see, so you could do like multicolor, you can do all one color. It's totally whatever your preference is. Okay. And then you want to pick it up carefully. So now it'll still have that bit of blue. Here's on my paper. You could see it better too, because it was a little bit darker. And then you've got this beautiful two-tone stencil going on. Isn't that pretty? So with this, all I did, wait, let me just make sure there was, I wanted to show, oh, this was doing the same technique, but I did Night of Navy, Misty Moonlight, and then Balmy Blue, just so that you can see there's a, and that was on top of the stencil, but you could do the background as multi-tones, lots of options. So for this one, oops, I just used the butterfly layering stencils, and I used Daffodil Delight and Night of Navy, and then I just cut it out. I just fussy cut it. The Hello Friend is from the Friendly Hello that I used last week. It's in the celebration. It's one of the free sets that you can get. And so I just threw this on in the background. And doesn't that make a pretty background? And then I used again the same gems as before, the in color gems. But yeah, I think that really pops. I thought it was pretty cool. Let me just go through. So yeah, so you can, I mean, sky's the limits. There's this one. So you can do, I did two tones again. You can lift color, you can add color. It's not, I mean, for those of you who jelly plate lots, you know that you can add layers and layers of different colors of paint. Obviously, you can't do that with this, but you can add, you know, a couple layers of colors on the bottom. Then you can do layers with your stencils. You can stamp. You can use your stamp as to pull off ink. You can add your stamp to put on ink. It just gives you another option to play with your stencils and a different look. I wanted to try this one. Let's wipe. Just so I haven't done that one on here, so then you can see what it looks like, and then you'll have seen all what comes in this pack of stencils. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe this off again. So hopefully you're as excited about this, and if you have a jelly plate, you'll pull out your Stampin' Up! Stuff and play with it on here. Because, you know, like I thought, I have all you could do the same thing with all the dies, you can just cut them out, use them as stencils. You don't even have to cut them out. You could just use them directly as stencils and then rinse it off, because the inks are just rinse off. You're not, I was always scared before with the paints, because it really messes everything up, and then it's hard to reuse them for card making after that. So by using the ink, it makes it much more stamp friendly, I guess. I'm not afraid to wreck my my backgrounds or my stuff. So here I'm gonna, since it's a vine, oops, I didn't click it in here. I'm gonna add some pear pizzazz. Oh, and there was one more thing I wanted to try too. So we'll try it on this one. Okay, so we'll put the vines down. And then we will take a darker, slightly darker. So I used, that was pear pizzazz. Now I'm just pulling out Old Olive, doing the same thing as before, where I'm gonna ink up my brayer and put it on there. Okay. And then I'm going to take some cardstock. So I've just been using regular printer paper so far because, I don't know, that's what most people do. I'm going to see what it ends up doing to our cardstock. Because I wanted to do it on cardstock because I wanted to spritz it with water to see if it would give us that kind of bubble watery look. Okay, so there's our vines. Now I'm going to take some water. Actually, I'm going to take, I don't know if it still has, I had put some shimmer paint in with water. So let's try it. See if it gives, yeah, it's giving us our little water spots. Oh yeah, it's coming up. Now you could make bigger water spots if you had a dropper, if you wanted to have bigger ones. But yeah, there's all sorts of little bubbles coming up. Maybe if I just used regular water, because this shimmer kind of comes out all globby. There's big chunks of, yeah, so you could, I wonder, now it makes me curious what would happen if you, well, I think if you put the water on here, it would just become a big blob. But maybe, I know you could add alcohol inks to it. And I have some metallic alcohol ink. I don't know where it is though. I'll have to try it and I'll have to post a project adding some more stuff. So yeah, play with it. Keep using different, whatever you have, just pull out what you have and play. That's the best part of stamping, is the playing. I love to play. I love to discover new things. I was so happy when I discovered that this worked, because it was a whole new medium to play with and ways to make new backgrounds. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me show you the cards one more time. Let me just move this out of the way so I don't get ink everywhere. And this as well. Okay, so this was just the layered stencils with some ink and blending brushes. So pretty. I love that one. I love this. I love them all. I don't know. I love the butterfly, I think, and the flowers. And this was with the stencil in the background on the jelly plate. And then this one was with the palm trees. Now I didn't have time. I thought I could do it with butterflies as well. And there's dies. So this is from the Brilliant, the Butterfly Brilliance. That was that background stamp. But it has dies that go with it that cut out all the butterflies. So you could just stick one of the butterflies on top to make it pop. So maybe I will post that as well once I get it finished. But yeah, fun. fun, right? Like, I had so much fun doing this and playing, and hopefully it's inspired you to go play with whatever you have, or if you don't have the stencils, maybe you're going to want the stencils. So like I said, they're in the mini catalog on page 65. They're just kind of hidden on their own. They're not part of a suite or anything, so don't miss them, because you can use them, and if you go back and look at my other videos, you can use them with paste. You can use them, there's just so many ways you can use stencils, and you can have so much fun. And the flowers fit in the nice. So yeah, go have fun. Post projects if you make some. Post in the comments your own cards if you make some with this. And yeah, hopefully we will see you guys next Wednesday for another live. Bye.